we're about to go through the only door we've not been through yet in any scenario. Obviously, going through door 2 on this path might result in things being somewhat different. We'll obviously do that at some point, but we're going to go through door 6. Interestingly, because the murderer who was present in the last run through doesn't seem like he's tied to us in any way that we're aware of, at least at the minute. So chances are, if we go through door 6 and there's not another group who can go through another door, then that's a tricky situation, right? Because they're going to be left alone with him again, I think. So, because I think that we stay kind of below, like on this deck to get to door 9. I can't exactly remember, but I'm gonna do a little hocus pocus and pick door 6.
I want to go through door 6.
Junpei flipped open the piece of paper. It read Junpei door 6. Of course it did. He'd written it after all.
That's a problem.
Junpei spoke barely above a whisper, but they all knew what she'd said.
None of these teams will be able to go through the doors they want.
Clover and I chose door 1.
Lotus and I chose door 2.
That's not enough people to open a numbered door, however.
The digital routes don't match up either.
We've got similar problems. Junpei and I want to go through door 6, but our digital route is 5. If we're gonna open that door, we need a 1.
Damn, what are we gonna do now?
What are we going to do?
Junpei crossed his arms and did his best to put his thoughts in order. The others followed suit, but with little result. Just run the numbers. Who cares? Eventually, Clover broke the silence.
Why don't Seven and Lotus go through door 1? With me.
Her face was cold and flat, as was her voice, but her logic was sound. Interesting. Hang on. I'm fairly certain she could come with us. Then where would that leave the others? Okay, I think I've got an idea of what might happen here. I feel like if we were to... Have I done that right? 1, 3, 7, 8, yep. I think if we were to do what we did last on the first run, go through door 5, and then go through door 7, get Clover's trust, and then at this junction here, she would volunteer to come with us, because she would then trust us. And then she might feel a lot more comfortable talking in front of June than she did in front of Ace. And then we can get the complete story from her. We'll get the golden gun. That lot can go through door number 1. Yeah, that seems like the perfect scenario there. Yeah, for sure. And then something... Then I guess that would take us down this route. And then maybe we'll get to unlock something here, perhaps. No, that wouldn't take us down that route. We'd be going through door 6. There are a lot of boxes here, interestingly. Seven and Lotus looked at each other. 19 equals... Yeah. What? Oh yeah, 10, sorry, yeah. First problem resolved, they spoke up.
What about me?
Isn't that obvious? Wasn't one of the teams just complaining that they didn't have a 1?
You mean I should join Santa's team?
Yes.
Oh, Santa's still gonna get the gun though. Clover nodded, her face still cold and emotionless. Her attitude and posture couldn't have been more different than the energetic girl of only a few hours before. No one seemed ready to contradict her. Her response was understandable given the horrible situation which she'd found herself, but even so.
I understand. I'll go through door 6 then. If we do as Clover has suggested, we can all pass through a numbered door and no one will be left behind. This seems to be the most reasonable solution.
Yeah, so this is still a problem because this means Santa gets to go through door 6, which is the Golden Gun room.
7, Lotus. What do you guys think?
I don't have a problem with it.
Me either.
All right then, we're good to go.
See you later.
Yeah, that's
Wait, Clover! Don't move on your own!
that seems fairly clear to me that she would have spoken up in a different way if we would have had her trust.
Oh, I'll be going too then.
Yeah, be careful.
We should get going as well.
Let's go. At last, Junpei and the other 6 had managed to separate themselves into 2 teams. Clover, 7, and Lotus headed to A deck, where door 1 was, near the main staircase. Junpei, June, Ace, and Santa, however, took the elevator to E deck. The ride to E deck was a silent one.
This is E deck.
If I wanted to, sorry to interrupt again. If we wanted to go through door 2 with Clover, so 9. If we wanted to go through door 2, oh, that's a bit tough. I think we'd need. Yeah. We'd need these 2. And I don't think the others could do anything. Oh. I don't think there's a way for us to go through door 2.
There should be a door at the end of the hall.
All right, let's go.
Santa's words jolted them to action and they stepped out of the elevator into a long straight hallway. So the main thing that we know here is there's a gun and we want to take the gun so that this idiot doesn't take it. Before long they arrived in front of door 6.
Here it is. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Then let's get to it.
One by one they put their palms over the red. I'm a little bit impatient here because I feel like this is that we'll be going through here with Clover, which is where the interesting stuff is. The door opened, and all at once the 4 of them leapt through it.
Hey, I found it! It's right there!
Fortunately, the dead was located easily enough. This one had been placed quite close to the door they'd entered through. They gathered around it quickly and hurried to place their palms on it for authentication one by one.
It stopped.
Yes! It stopped!
The countdown had ceased, but Junpei's heart was still pounding in his chest like a frantic, thunderous drum. It felt as though it might shake itself up and out of his throat.
Whew. I don't believe I'll ever get used to that.
I'm not sure it's something I'd want to get used to. We should finish this game before imminent death becomes a normal thing.
He's saying this again.
You got that right. Once I'm out of this hellhole, I'm taking a nice long vacation.
Something imminent can't be a regular thing. For God's sake.
I agree.
Yeah, in hell, after you die, Santa.
All right, let's go.
What did that just say, sorry? With that, the doom and gloom from before was done and the mood turned somewhat lighter. With that attempt at good humour, Junpei took a deep breath and began to walk. He jogged down the stairs at the end of the hallway and found himself staring at a large door.
This door looks heavy.
But it's not locked.
Sorry. He took hold of... Oh, I'll go back to using the space bar. I tend to do fewer misclicks like that. He took hold of the bar and served it as a doorknob and shoved it down. The room beyond stopped him in his tracks. It was gargantuan. Made entirely of metal, none of the accents of wood or tile he'd seen in the rest of the ship. This room was purely functional, but utterly tremendous.
Whoa, what the hell is this?
Santa got out a few words before awe stole the rest of them. The rest were too stunned to offer anything more than gasps.
This has to be the biggest room so far. The ceiling is pretty high, too.
Engine room or something?
Huh. Could be 2 stories, maybe even more.
This space could be utilizing the entire length of the ship.
What's that huge Kamaboko-looking building in the middle?
June pointed to the massive building in the center.
Kamaboko? Well, I guess that's as good of a description of it as any.
Junpei and the others were standing on scaffolding that crisscrossed the whole area. The proper term was catwalk, Junpei thought, although that didn't seem particularly important.
I see stairs, so we may as well head over to them.
Yeah, but this section's barely wide enough to fit 1 person.
You're right.
Nearby was a long iron staircase that made its way eventually to the floor beneath them.
Whoa, you can't even tell the shape when you're this close.
Let's check out the other side, too.
They moved around toward the opposite side of the massive building following the catwalk. They hadn't said much as they walked, but as they approached the building, Ace suddenly spoke up.
This looks to be the steam engine room.
The steam engine room?
Yes, that thing that looks like a cross-section of a mushroom is the boiler. You see the 3 round doors near the bottom? Coal is put into those and burned, which heats the water, producing steam. The same thing that drives a steam engine. This one is simply somewhat larger.
I see.
It doesn't appear to be running right now.
The entire room is as silent as a grave.
All right, let's split up.
Then all of a sudden, Junpei heard a noise behind him. He turned just in time to see June collapse to her knees.
Hey, what's wrong? Are you all right?
He dashed toward her and wrapped his arm around her shoulders to steady her.
Hey, June.
The hell? It was then that he noticed...
Jumpy.
You... Oh, you're really warm. Is your fever coming back?
Oh,
Yes. Yes. It probably is.
strange timing.
I'm fine. Please, don't worry about me. I just need to rest. And I'll be fine.
Her voice was weak and forced, and it said a great deal more than her words did.
Okay, here, sit down, careful.
Junpei carried her to the nearest wall and propped her up against it. She let her head fall back against the wall as if she no longer had the strength to support it, and drew a ragged breath.
Thank you.
Her eyes were empty, as if she was having trouble focusing them, and even speaking seemed difficult for her. Junpei felt his hand ball itself into a fist and clenched tight, his knuckles whitening. He had to find a way out, and quickly. He turned and looked at Ace and Santa in turn.
Ace, Santa.
Yes.
Right.
They might not have shared the depth of his emotion, but they certainly shared his concern.
All right, let's get started. Hang in there, June. I'm gonna get you out of here real soon.
She managed a small nod before leaning back to rest her head on the wall. Alright. Let's do it. I start clicking on stuff. This pillar goes up toward the ceiling. I'd say this is probably here to move coal from place to place. It probably comes from over there. and then the belt carries it down the tunnel and out here. So if the conveyor belt was moving, yes, the coal would almost certainly come out here. Look at that button. It's glowing orange, right? That's got to mean something. I guess pressing it is the best way to find out if it does anything, Santa. Huh. Nothing. It's a square hole! Nothing in here. Look at the back wall there. I can see 3 small slots, terminals for some sort of connector perhaps. You mean you think we're supposed to plug something in here? Perhaps. Right. The tunnel goes all the way across the ship. A golden gear. Doesn't look like it was always golden like this. Well, then I imagine it was prepared especially for this game. This gear's rusty, but it looks like it's still pretty sturdy. Looks like there's a door over here in this tunnel. The belt over there must deliver the coal, which is then picked up and thrown into this door. The door appears to be welded shut, however. There's a bunch of wooden boxes over by the wall. I already looked through those, there's nothing there. Is that where he's got the gun from? Barrel under the stairs. Unfortunately, it's empty. This is the huge oven for the boiler. There are 3 open areas in it. Each of the open areas has a gear. Bronze. Okay, so we've got gold, bronze, and silver. It's a silver gear. You think it's made of pure silver? No way, silver's way too soft to use for a gear. It's got to be a steel or iron gear that's been coated with silver. Ugh, shouldn't have called it a silver gear then. Shouldn't have got your hopes up. Were you thinking you'd haul this thing back? No, but I think 7 could probably carry it, don't you? Zing. Right, so we've got gold, bronze, and silver gears. Look, Ace! It's some kind of snowman secret meeting. Those are just bags full of sand, you absolute plank. You use them as a counterweight when you're lifting something with a pulley system. Man, you're too serious. Okay. There's a pair of wooden boxes here. There's nothing in them. What is this? Given its placement, this must unlock the door to the left. There's a weird indentation on the top of this thing. You think that means you have to insert something here? Yes, I'd imagine so. There's a thick iron door blocking our way. You think this is... Yes, it looks like the exit. Looks like this door slides up into the ceiling. Wooden boxes that are all empty. Another golden gear. Another bronze gear. And another silver gear. Stairs stretch from the catwalk to the boiler. There are a number of these little windows along the inside of this thing. I think you're supposed to put coal in through these, but they're welded shut. I don't think we can get these open. Oh, hello. I believe this opening is for fueling the furnace. If we were to put some coal in here and ignite it, then the steam engine might start working. It's certainly possible. Man, this thing is huge. I guess a ship this big needs something like that to power it. True, but I doubt a single boiler of this size could actually move a ship like this at any reasonable speed. You need at least 3, no 4 of these. Huh, guess you know a lot about boats, huh? It's a ship, not a boat. Well, not really, it's just common sense, you know? I have found very little. This is where the coal goes, or would go if all three of these things hadn't rusted shut. Stairs to the upper floor. They're connected to the boiler. Oh, right, we can go up here. The 3 sliders on the left are down, but this one is up. There are a number of lines engraved in these. I suspect we're meant to do something rather specific with them. Junpei, why don't you move that slider down? There's no harm in trying, I suppose. Nothing. Nothing happened. Maybe it needs to be prepared somehow? You're saying if we did something somewhere else, it'd respond? Yeah, I suppose that's one way of putting it. Sliders down. I think they all need to be orange to match that door we came through when we entered the steam engine room. One of the doors on the furnace, there's an A on it. There's a circular wheel in the centre of the door. Alright, let's give that sucker a twist. Right, time for notes, I think. Got an A door. Right. Well, it's noisy, but it opens, and it's totally pitch black. We should go in. Alright. Let's go. This looks just like the door we went into. Huh, where are we? We must be on the other side, yes? Which would put us directly above the conveyor belt. At any rate, we should keep moving. There's a great deal we've yet to investigate. Right, so we've crossed to the other side, apparently. Catwalk. Number of boxes on the catwalk. I don't think we can go over there. Well, anyway, looks like that's at the pipe. Looks like the bottom connects to the conveyor belt housing. The coal must come out of this pipe onto the conveyor belt. In other words, there must be a great deal of coal in it. A bunch of boxes in the way, can't get through. Right, let's go through door B. You have an excellent memory. Use that to draw a map inside your head. That way you won't get lost. Thanks a lot, Ace. Thanks. Draw a map in your head. Who would have thought? The supports and braces the side of the ship. It's not a ladder. That's a hand-operated winch. It's a simple machine used to lift things up and down. You simply turn the wheel and pull up the rope. Junpei, why don't you turn the wheel? The wheel? Alright, let's give this wheel a spin. What? That's weird. I don't feel any resistance. Gah! Ah, shit. The wheel that seems to be a part of the winch. There are some pegs on the back that look like they go into the holes on the winch. Good job, genius, you broke it. I didn't break it, it broke all by itself. Couple of points on the back that look like they could fit into the holes. Damn, no good. These little shafts are too small for the big hole. Like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. If that's the case, then are they just going to move past what he just said? In my experience, that's a joke you'd use to refer to a lady who's, you know, had a lot of partners, right? Throwing a sausage down an alleyway. That means... I can't believe you just said that. In my experience, that is the only... That's the only time I've ever heard that metaphor used. I apologise for my crudeness, but that's the only time I've heard that used. Right, we'll plug and play it here. Let's see on the door. Hand-operated winch. There's no wheel to turn. Oh yeah, I've got the wheel. I pulled off the other one. Let's see if it fits. Of course it does. Sweet, it's a perfect fit, like they were made for each other. Not shaky at all. Good, I should be able to turn it now. Good work, Junpei. We should be able to haul up the wooden box now. You see the wooden box? It's under the catwalk. Can you see it? It's hanging from the rope on the winch, isn't it? It looks like there's some sort of device in the box. I'm not sure what it is. At any rate, you might as well turn the wheel now. I'm counting on you. Alright, let's turn the wheel. Oh, what's this? What happened? The wheel only turns to the left. To the left? Dude, there is no left and right. There is clockwise and anti-clockwise. That means we can't reel up that rope. Yeah. We can only let the rope down. Interesting. I don't think that'll be a problem. We'll simply need to go downstairs after letting the wooden box down. I'll be counting on you, Junpei. Sure thing, no sweat. That's bad news, man.
I believe the box has reached the floor.
Yeah.
He stuck his head out over the side of the catwalk and looked down. The box that had only recently hung just below the catwalk now sat on the floor. It had come to rest near the end of the tunnel that covered the conveyor belt.
June's down over by there.
Junpei could see her still leaning against the wall as if she barely had the strength to sit up. Even from so far away, it wasn't difficult to see that she hadn't improved. He almost thought he could see heat rising from her body.
She doesn't seem to be improving.
Ace's expression was inscrutable, but he'd said what they'd all been thinking.
Well, of course not. She's not gonna just get better right away, you know? It'll take time.
He tried desperately to convince himself that what he'd said was true.
What could be causing this, I wonder? Illness, perhaps?
Nah, it's gotta be exhaustion.
Santa's response was confident and certain.
She gets dropped into some weird-ass ship, forced to play some messed-up game.
And then has a gun pointed at her by some weirdo wearing some stripped t-shirt.
If you think about it, it's a lot weirder that we aren't freaking out just like her, you know?
You know?
So you're saying we're abnormal?
Yeah. We're just running around this room, solving all these puzzles like it's just business as usual.
It's...
How the hell could you call that normal? We're just guinea pigs.
Santa snorted in disgust.
A guinea pig? You mean like a lab rat?
Semantics, Junpei.
You mean we're being used for some sort of experiment? Is that what you're saying?
Dunno. But it does seem like a possibility, you know?
You know? They stood there for a few more minutes, no one speaking, until Santa turned and walked away from the winch. Junpei and Ace followed him. I'm guessing this is where we find the gun. There's a pair of boxes here. Oh wait, is that not the one that came down? Control panel. Ah, there we go. It's got the 3 slots on it. Some kind of machine, maybe a control panel. Maybe this hole's where the control panel goes. Well, there's only one way to find out. In you go. Dude, you did it! Everything looks alright. Okay, but what do we do now? Why don't you try and press the button next to it? The orange one? Yep. Alright, I'll do that. Pushing. Sweet! All sorts of lights are lighting up on this thing. And, oh, yeah, I think I just heard something turn on. Oh? What's that? What happened? Junpei, look! The conveyor belt's moving. The conveyor belt? Well, guess it's done moving now. There's still a bunch of coal on the belt, though. Looks like a bunch of it got dumped off on the end of the belt into that wooden box where we found the control panel. Coal, huh? Since the belt started moving, it transported quite a bit of coal. It all drops off the left end of the belt, right into the wooden box. Christmas! A wooden box full of coal. Guess there's really only one thing we can do with this stuff. It was on... Oh, wrong one. There's a hole. Little let us put coal into the furnace. Maybe if we can get some coal in there and set it on fire. Let's do it. Alright, that's the last of it. No coal left in the wooden box. And nothing. Great. Well, I guess I should have expected that. Why would just throwing coal into a cold furnace do anything? Oh well, a man can dream. Junpei, explain it to me again. You're planning to stoke the furnace with coal, which will heat the water stored up there and make steam, which will then drive something else. Am I correct? In other words, you want to generate enough pressure with the steam to power the turbine and drive the steam engine, right? Yeah, that's the gist of it. Well, in that case, this isn't enough coal. This furnace is enormous, so we're going to need a whole hell of a lot more coal than this. Very well then. If the three of us work together, then we should manage to fill it faster. I want to help too. Man, I totally didn't even see her walk up. Are you feeling up to that? Yes. Yeah, right. Look like you're one stiff breeze away from falling over, June. I think you better rest some more, alright? But, no arguing. You need your rest, so just stay there. We'll handle this. Okay, I understand. Alright, time for some whatever work. Let's get this coal into the furnace. I'm clicking faster than I can talk. Let's get coal into the furnaces. This is a lot of work. Alright, I think this should be sufficient. Now we just gotta light it. Junpei, hand me your matches. What makes you think I have matches? I see. Then how are we gonna light it? Perhaps there's a device nearby that will allow us to remotely ignite the coal. Take a look, shall we? Some sort of ignition device. Can't figure out how I'm supposed to light this thing. Junpei, have you thought about looking at the other side? You're right. I should take a look over there. Cloth bags, there's nothing but sand. A winch, a rope and a hook. Yeah, you're right. There's something like that on the other side. Two pillars that reach up towards the ceiling. Ah, this has changed now. Is this? I think it might be. Probably is. I think this is how we might ignite the furnace. That means if we move that thing down, let's do it. Here we go. Hey, Junpei Ace, look at this. There are big gears turning under the boiler here. The gears. They're spinning. What the hell are you guys waiting for? Let's start looking. Right, so we've got the gold disc. Gold disc, it has a number of lines engraved on it. I can make out 3 colours here, red, blue and black. I wonder what they mean. So the gold one was in the bottom left there, right? Yeah. Bronze was in the bottom right. A bronze disc. It has a bunch of lines on it in 3 different colours, red, blue and black. Yeah, look, and there's a silver and a gold line and a bronze line. Indentation where I found the bronze disc in the bottom right. There's nothing here anymore. Silver disc. It has a bunch of lines on it, but the red ones really stand out. The red ones are. Right. So I guess the question is, which way up do we put it? Looks like this thing unlocks the door. There's a depression here that looks like it's the outline of 3 circles laid on top of each other in a triangle. Maybe if we put those 3 discs we found into this thing. Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's stick them in. Huh, that's odd. Nothing's happening. Maybe you're, I don't know, putting them in the wrong places? Perhaps you have them facing the wrong directions. Perhaps you should rotate the discs to make some of the lines connect to one another. Huh, no harm in trying. Click to rotate it a certain amount. When the white arrow is clicked, the discs are switched. Please note when the discs are switched, the angles for the discs are reset. Right, so we want gold and bronze there. I think we want the red in the middle. Bingo! The red lines on these discs. I think maybe I can make a star polygon with these. No gun. Great, that means Santa's got the gun. Unless there's
Yes!
another...
The door's open!
There might be another room, to be fair. Given the circumstances, Junpei's happiness was certainly understandable. Okay, so, sorry, the flip here. Last time Ace was with me and Clover, so this time Ace is in here. And June's in here. No, June... Last time it was June, Santa, Seven, and Lotus. So Lotus has switched over there, Seven's over there. Ace seemed to share his excitement.
All right, Junpei. Why don't you go get June now? Santa and I will keep an eye on the store.
Santa snorted.
Why do we need to do that? Even if it shuts, we know how to solve the puzzle now. We could just open it again.
Well, I suppose that's true. Shall all 3 of us go and collect June then?
Nah, I'm cool. I'll let Junpei handle it.
What a dick. He still seemed irritated by something, however, and sat down on the stairs petulantly.
So are you only interested in being contrary?
Ace sighed with the air of a long-suffering parent.
All right, I'll go get June. I'll be right back.
So easy just to teep kick Santa right in the back down the stairs. He gave a quick nod to Ace and Santa and dashed off down the stairs. Before long, he was back on the first floor next to the conveyor belt and June.
Oh, Jumpy!
As he drew closer, she stood up slowly.
Are you okay?
He did his best to sound calm and nonchalant, but there was no hiding the genuine concern in his voice. I don't think we heard anything about her fainting, you know, in our first run through, because she still came in here with you, but not with us.
Yes, I'm fine now. I'm sorry I made you worry.
June blushed. He wasn't sure if she was embarrassed or still feverish.
Let me check.
Just to make sure, he reached out and put his hand against her forehead. Hold hands.
Good. You're feeling a lot better.
She was feeling far less warm than she had earlier, but still wasn't down to what seemed normal to him. So, hot flashes?
Are you sure you're all right?
He had to be sure. June gave him a look.
Oh, you're such a warrior, Jumpy.
That's a... Didn't she say warrior then, not warrior?
Oops, I mean, warrior.
Oh, for God's sake. June giggled. He wasn't sure if she just made a joke or not, but seeing her smile again made Junpei feel at ease. If she was well enough to smile and laugh, then she really was feeling much better. He gave her a friendly poke on the forehead.
All right, let's go.
Go where?
Oh, right, I didn't tell you. We got the exit open, so...
Great! Let's go!
June clasped her hands and nodded urgently. They headed back to the exit, but on their way they found...
Oh, it's...
Santa?
Is he looking... Oh, we haven't... We should have got the clover from him, right? Santa was sitting on the stairs, staring at what looks like a picture or a note. He was, however, holding something in his right hand and staring at it with a strange expression. Junpei and June slowed down and finally stopped in front of him.
What are you looking at?
Santa answered without looking up, his voice quiet.
It's a photo. It's my sister.
Interesting. Guess his sister might have been someone who had to take part in a Nonary game before.
Sister? Santa, you've got a sister?
Yes, it's a very believable scenario, June. Santa simply nodded.
Yeah. Kid was cute as a button.
Was. June cocked her head confused.
She was only about an inch tall then?
Snap. Santa glared at her.
Oh, sorry. I guess an inch is a little large for a button. Probably more like a half inch.
Santa didn't smile or laugh.
Sorry.
Why are you looking at it?
He simply turned back to his picture and spoke.
I was her Santa Claus.
Wait, what?
The sudden revelation took Junpei by surprise. He had no idea what Santa meant. He glanced at June, who shook her head. She didn't know either.
Have you ever heard the story of the two Santa Clauses? It goes that a long time ago, there were two Santas. One of them wore white, and the other one wore black. The white Santa gave presents to good kids, and the black Santa played tricks on bad kids. They went on like that for a while, but eventually the black Santa's tricks started to get worse and worse.
He phrased this rather awkwardly.
Pretty soon, the white Santa couldn't stand it anymore, and he stabbed the black Santa to death. When he stabbed the other Santa, the white Santa got blood all over his clothes. And that's why, these days, his clothes are red.
This is the worst story I've ever heard, dude.
You could say that red is all that's left of the black Santa.
Junpei was silent. He could think of nothing to say. No, me neither. June was staring at Santa, sadness playing on her face. He continued.
I wonder which Santa I am.
The brown one. I meant the clothes. God's sake, the coloured references here. Oh.
The white Santa or the black Santa?
Huh.
Oh.
All right, let's go.
Santa stood up suddenly, his downcast demeanour gone. He shoved the picture back in his pocket and headed back up the stairs, taking them two at a time.
Huh?
Junpei and June looked at one another. So obviously he's contemplating... So he's already got the gun, basically. And he's contemplating doing something bad. And he's using his sister as motivation to get out of here and justify him doing the bad thing, I guess. There was nothing they could think of to say. I don't know where Ace has gone.
Hey, what are you two doing? Let's get moving, come on!
All right, sorry. Let's just sit on the stairs and stare at a photo for a bit longer and contemplate a stupid metaphor about two Santa Clauses. Santa's voice echoed across the room from above them.
Let's go.
Yeah.
They nodded and followed him quickly up the stairs. Ace was waiting for them at the top. He was leaning against the handrail. He looked very tired.
Oh, you're finally back.
Have you done another hit of anesthesia? The door had shut, but wasn't cause for concern.
Sorry we took so long.
Junpei quickly solved the disc puzzle a second time, and the door opened once again. Right, so Santa's already got the
Let's
gun.
go.
So there's nothing we can do. This might be very similar to the last one. But there's nothing to say that Clover hasn't confided in someone else. She might have confided in Seven. Maybe Lotus? I don't know. We don't know how Lotus will be dealing with her. It opened easily enough and they passed through it as well. A new room stretched out before them. Oh no.
Huh. Is this a warehouse?
No, I believe this is the cargo room. This must be where they store all of this vessel's freight.
There are wooden crates everywhere. I wonder how old they are.
Junpei, Ace, and June had stopped unconsciously, pausing to take in their new surroundings. Santa's voice broke through their momentary trance.
Well, we probably ought to start with finding the exit, right? Let's get going.
Another room. I guess all the others were double puzzles, weren't they? I mean, doors 1 and 2 were both double puzzles. There's the way out, right? This door leads to the steam engine room. Oh no. Right. Some sort of... Are these card readers, maybe? It's locked. Guess we need a key to open it. All of the boxes have numbers on them. What if we need a different key for each? Oh. Ace bent down and picked up something that had been sitting next to the box. Junpei, take a look at this. It's a picture. No, wait. Is that a card? Card with a headshot of Lotus. A card with Lotus's face printed on it. Some numbered boxes and cards with pictures of all of us. Does that mean we need to collect the cards we don't have? We've searched all the boxes. There's nothing in them. Right, guys, I'm just going to end the video here because we've got a whole other puzzle to solve and the ending that will follow it, so probably best leaving it there. Yeah, because we're only halfway through this puzzle. This room, sorry. Interesting how this is going to differ. Really interesting. I can't envisage how this would go different here. But... oh yeah, I guess if we went this way, Clover probably wouldn't come with us. I'm not sure. It seems like these two rooms are interchangeable, to be honest. Because you know, there's Clover and then there's Santa and Ace, who you can just swap around in the equations, can't you? So I feel like if we were to do this again, where we went through door number 8 and Clover doesn't trust us, she would choose to come through here, I think. But there seems like there is a way of going for door number 2, but there's no other ending for that from the looks of things. Unless that means going that way after going through door 3. I don't think so, but... Alright, we'll leave it there, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. Got a little hint as to the dilemma that Santa's going through. I'm not writing him off. Writing him off. He's obviously trying to justify doing something bad to help someone he cares about, right? Understandable. So we'll pick it up from here. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a like if you did. Just remember, everyone, never trust a non-creep. I'll see you next time.